Please subscribe.
If there's a natural habitat for many of today's electric cars, it's the city. Their relatively short driving range does not matter as much in the town, and their high efficiency at lower rates plays out as a benefit. So it is only logical that the quintessential city car, the Smart Fortwo, is providing with an electric powertrain. The most recent addition is the Cabriolet version. Its fabric shirt can be pulled back and lowered at the touch of a button. To get even more open-air sense, the roof bars could be removed and stored in the surprisingly spacious trunk. At $28,750 prior to any probable incentives, the Cabrio is not inexpensive, but the Smart never was. However, the electric drive's price represents a major jump over the outgoing, gasoline-powered Cabriolet, which stickered for $19,650, at least before Smart decided to drop its gas-powered versions from the US market. Anyway, this car is all about being first away from the stoplight, to everybody's surprise, enjoying and taking in the city, snatching the last parking place in front of the cafe, and looking fashionable or even nerdy, depending on one's perspective. The new model looks beefier than the outgoing one, and there are myriad individualization choices. The selection of colors is massive, and the trade-in safety cell, a part of the unit body that is made visible through the sheet metal, could be painted to match the rest of the vehicle or in a contrasting color. That sounds slow, but the Smart is particularly quick off the line. Top speed is governed at 81 miles per hour. It could go faster, but higher rates would severely cut in the range. No car parks more readily than a Smart, and not merely because of its diminutive 106.1-inch span. The objective was to conquer the Sign IQ. Smart was embarrassed by the fact that the IQ had a smaller turning circle than the last-gen Fortwo. The electrically assisted power steering provides very little feedback from the road surface, and its powerful self-centering action reminds us of old Citroens. Needless to say, a city car should not be a racer, but we believe a little tweaking could improve the sense quite a bit. At least the suspension is very comfortable, although with such a very small wheelbase, it appears to jump over any bumps taken with excessive zeal. The brakes, front discs, rear drums, also feel fairly artificial. Smart claims the Fortwo can go 70 to 80 miles before it must be recharged. It has to spend 3 hours linked to your 240-volt socket for a complete charge. The alternate is 16.5 hours in a 120-volt household plug. While it's apparent that this small convertible is a terrific city car, what is less clear is if it functions as a complete replacement for the gasoline-powered Smart. Sold alongside the now-defunct gas models, the electric Smarts accounted for just 19% of their brand's complete U.S. earnings from 2014 through 2016. One client who won't come along is Wayne Wilson. The 44-year-old consultant from Brooklyn is a duplicate Smart client. He was among the first for the current model, which fits his needs perfectly, zipping about Brooklyn's Park Slope and Prospect Heights neighborhoods. He can find parking virtually anywhere. He also likes to take his Smart past the city limits in the summertime. I purchased a Smart to have the ability to park anywhere and at any time, but electric plugs are next to non-existent in my neighborhoods, says Wilson. And, he adds, I'm not purchasing a vehicle for the future which will be coming someday. I'm buying it for the time being. Says Wilson, each time I park in that hopeless spot that everybody else has to drive past, I really like my car. But I simply do not see myself getting another one if it means going electric. Even Smart's fashionable urban audience needs a certain degree of practicality. In many locations, the electric drive Cabriolet may not meet that threshold, even if it's a fantastic EV.